everyone. Welcome to Terraform with GCP Session 6. In this particular session, we are going to discuss about Terraform Workspaces and why we need to use the respective Terraform Workspace. In general, a Terraform Workspace is like a separate area inside a Terraform which is used for managing multiple environments. If you see here, I have three workspaces here. One is a dev workspace, production workspace, and the next one is a test workspace. In dev related workspace, I will be creating all dev environment related resources. In production workspace, I will be creating all production environment related resources. In test workspace, I will be creating all test environment related resources. This is what in brief about Terraform workspaces. And why we need to use a workspace? Let me explain one by one. With the help of workspace, I can manage multiple environments with a single Terraform configuration code. If you see this below picture here, I have only one single code. Using one single code, I can manage multiple environments like a dev environment, test environment, and a production environment. We are going to see this practically as well with a demo. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. After that, each environment we can have its own state file independently and separately. Suppose if we are creating any resource in production, that production related state file will be stored in production workspace. If we are creating any test environment related resources, right, that particular state file will be created in respective test environment workspace. In this way, we can able to separate individual state files without mixing it up, so that it will be easy and very convenient to create resources and easy to track with the help of state files as well. The next thing is, with the help of workspace, I can able to switch easily between one environment to another environments. Suppose from dev to test environment, we can switch easily. From test to production also, we can able to switch easily with the help of Terraform workspace concept. Before we jump into the demo, we need to understand few basic Terraform workspace commands. So if you see here, I have particular commands which are listed below. Let me explain one by one. The first command is to list all the workspaces that we have in the Terraform console. So how to list all the workspaces means we need to use this particular command, Terraform workspace list. This particular command will list all the workspaces that we have in the Terraform. The next command is, suppose if I want to create a new workspace with a particular name, I can use this particular command. So what is the command? Terraform workspace. I need to use new because we are creating a new workspace. After that, the name of the workspace. Here I am going to create a dev workspace. If you are creating a production workspace, you can specify production name here, respectively test workspace as well. This is about creating a workspace in Terraform. Once we create a workspace, right, sometimes we need to switch or jump into that particular workspace. To do that, we need to use this particular third command, Terraform workspace select. So I want to select which workspace here, dev workspace. So I will jump or switch into this particular workspace here. That is the third command. The next command is to show the current workspace that I am using. So I need to use this particular Terraform workspace show. It will show the particular workspace that currently you are using or any user is using. It will show. Once we do all these things, at last, if you want to delete any particular workspace, we can delete that particular workspace as well. How to delete? Terraform workspace delete. After delete, I need to provide the respective workspace name here. If it is dev, place a dev workspace here. If it is production workspace. If it is a test workspace, we need to put test word here. This is how we can delete our respective workspaces. So these are all the 5 important commands that we need to remember and we need to implement practically. If you see here, I have only one single configuration code here, that is Terraform main.tf. So if you see here, this is my main.tf. What this code will do means, this code is used to to create a virtual machine in the GCP Cloud Console. So I have a provider block here to communicate with the respective Google Cloud platform. I have one resource block here. This resource block is used to create a VM, virtual machine resource. So here, if you see here, simple underscore VM, I am going to create. The main important line in this particular code is name equals to, if you see here this particular line, terraform.workspace hyphen VM. What this particular command will do means, if I apply this particular file in dev workspace, it will create a dev virtual machine. If I apply this particular main.tf in a production workspace, it will create a production VM. If I apply this in a test workspace, it will create a test VM. So with the help of one single main.tf file, I can able to deploy 3 virtual machines in the Google Cloud with 3 different workspace names. One is a dev workspace, production workspace, and the later one is a test workspace. This is the main advantage of using workspace, and all 3 what we apply here in each workspace will be having a independent state file as well. Dev related state file separately, production related state file separately, and test related state file we can include separately. Terraform itself, with the help of workspace, it will manage and it will do that. So once we are done with that configuration file, we need to follow these steps practically to implement our workspace demo. First thing is, I need to create one new workspace. After that, I need to select that particular new workspace. After that, what I need to do, I need to apply my configuration, means Terraform apply main.tf in that particular workspace. So a respective VM will be created in respective workspace like test, production, and development workspace. So this is a practical things that we need to do with the help of a demo. Let me show you the demo as well now. Let me switch on to that particular Terraform Cloud Console. So currently I am inside my Cloud Shell editor. So let me explain each command one by one. So first we are going to discuss about how to list the Terraform workspaces. So for that, what is the command? I need to use Terraform workspace. After that, I need to use which command? List command. If we use this particular command, what it will do? It will list all the workspaces which are there. Currently, I have not created any workspace, but still it is showing default workspace. So Terraform by defaultly it will create one default workspace, that is a default workspace. So don't need to worry about that. Now what I am going to do, I am going to create one new workspace. So how to create a workspace? I need to use Terraform workspace. After that, I need to use a new, whichever workspace I want to create. First I will create the dev workspace. Let me create the dev. So currently dev workspace has been created. Let me create other 2 workspaces as well. So let me create test workspace as well. So let me click enter. So my test workspace is also created. Let me create the third workspace as well, that is production workspace. Let me click production here. So I have created 3 workspaces now: dev, test, and production workspace. How to list all workspaces again to show means to implement to see practically. Let me use Terraform workspace list command. If I use a Terraform workspace list command, what it will do? It will show all the created workspace at present. See here, currently I have, along with the default, I have another 3 workspace. One is dev workspace, production workspace, and test workspace. Currently I am inside my production workspace. That's why it is highlighted with star color or star mark, means I am inside this production workspace. This is how I can list my workspace. Before going to see practically about the configuration file, how to apply it, let me upload my main.tf file first, then we can proceed with our demo. So how to upload my main.tf file? We are already aware of that. We need to click on 3 dots. I need to click on upload option. I need to select my main.tf configuration file. So this is my main.tf file. Let me select this. So main.tf got loaded. Just if you click on upload, it will load and it will transfer one item here. Let me close this. If I use ls command, what it will show? Currently, I have my main.tf configuration file as well. So this is my single Terraform configuration code. I am going to apply this main.tf in multiple workspaces like dev workspace, production workspace, and test workspace. So my main.tf configuration file is ready now. Now what I am going to do, I am going to switch into my dev workspace first. So how to switch into dev workspace? I need to use Terraform workspace, and what I need to do, I need to use select. After that, what I need to do, I need to select my respective workspace name. Here it is dev workspace. After that, click enter. What it will show here, there is one message here, switch to workspace dev. Current time in which workspace? Dev workspace. Now what I am going to do now, I am going to use my Terraform apply command to use my main.tf configuration file. What I am going to do, use a Terraform init. First we need to initialize, right, as per the Terraform sequence. First use the Terraform init in this workspace. After that, what I am going to do, I am going to use Terraform apply. Currently, I am doing apply in dev workspace. Okay, remember that. So just press yes. Now what it will do, it will create one VM with dev workspace name. So that it is going to create now. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. It got currently what it is showing, one VM got created, creation complete. In which workspace? In dev workspace. So it created one VM with the name dev-VM. Let me go back and check my Google Cloud Console as well. So let's jump into my Google Cloud Console. Let me check under VM instances. If you see the VM instance here, one particular VM got created with dev-VM. It is created in US Central 1A zone. It is having one public IP and one private IP. So this is how with one code I can create my dev VM in dev environment. Let me go back here. Let me switch back to my test environment. How to switch back? Let me clear first. Use Terraform workspace, select. So I want to switch to now test environment. So currently I'm going to switch into test environment. If you can see here, currently I switch to workspace with name test. Now here what I am going to do, I am going to use same Terraform init again. I am going to initialize my Terraform in test workspace. After that, what I need to do, I need to use Terraform apply. Our code is same, one code only, but I am applying in multiple workspaces. Use a Terraform apply. After that, press yes. Now what it will do, it will create one VM in test workspace with name test-VM. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes to get it created. Let me wait. See here, apply is completed. One resource got added. What is that one resource? Test-VM. Let's go back to our cloud console and let me check it. So currently here only one VM is there, that is dev-VM. If I refresh my screen, I can see my second VM, that is test-VM. This is my second VM which I created with the help of Terraform workspace apply command in test workspace. Let's go back. Let me clear my screen. Let me switch back to my production workspace. How to do that? I need to use Terraform workspace. I need to select which workspace I need to select now. I need to select production workspace. So click enter. Currently, I am into my production workspace now. In production workspace also, I am going to execute the same thing, that is Terraform init first, because we need to initialize the respective providers. Once that is done, I am going to use Terraform apply in my production environment as well. Just use apply. It will show one pop-up message. We need to enter yes. I need to proceed with my apply. Once I enter yes, it will create one VM with the name production-VM because currently I am in my production workspace. Here, apply is completed now. One resource got added. What is that resource? Production-VM got created. Let me check in my cloud console. If you go here, currently I have only two virtual machines. One is dev-VM test-vm. If I refresh now, one more VM will be created with production name, production-vm, because I have applied the configuration in the respective production workspace. That's why it is created with the name production-vm. So this is how with one code I can able to create multiple VMs with the respective workspace name, with workspace dev, production and test workspace. Let me go back to my screen. Let me clear it. Okay, currently I am in which workspace? How to check that one? We have one command, right? Terraform workspace. Okay, show command. If we use show command, what it will show? Currently I am in my production workspace. So this is how we can see in which workspace we are in. Currently it is a production workspace. So now we are done with all the workspace creation, how to create a new workspace, how to switch to a particular workspace, and how to show a particular workspace. You see here, there is one folder created with name terraform.tfstate.d. That means all my state files will be created inside this particular folder. If I want to enter into that folder, just use the cd command, just use that particular folder and then enter. If I do enter inside this and execute tree command, what it will show means, it will show all the state files in each environment. Suppose in a dev workspace, one separate state file is there, that is terraform.tf state file. In production workspace also one state file is there. In test workspace also one state file is there. This is how workspace will help us to create individual state file in each workspace. Means all dev environment resources will be inside this terraform.tf state. All production related resources will be inside this particular terraform.tf state, and test environment related resources will be inside terraform.tf state. This is how each state file will be created independently for each workspace. This is how we can do that. Let me use cd space dot dot. Let me clear it. If I want to delete any particular workspace also, I can able to delete that particular workspace. So how I can delete? Before deleting, let me show the Terraform list command, workspace list command. Just use the Terraform workspace list. Okay. So currently I am having 4 workspace, including default workspace as well. Now I am going to delete a particular workspace. Okay. Let me delete with the Terraform workspace. Delete. So I am going to select production workspace. So let me delete production workspace now. So if I use this particular deletion, means a delete method, what it is showing means production is your active workspace. You cannot delete the currently active workspace. To delete production workspace, what I need to do? I need to switch to other workspace and I can delete this production workspace. So we know how to switch, right? Just use Terraform workspace. So if I want to switch, just use select. After that, I am going to switch into test workspace. So currently I am in my test workspace. Now what I am going to do? I am going to delete my production workspace. Let me delete. But it will not allow to delete that particular workspace because that workspace is not empty, because we have some state files inside that workspace. So to delete forcefully, I can do that. How I can do that? Just use after delete, let me use -force command. If I use forcefully, I can do that particular production workspace deletion. Just use this particular one. See here, deleted workspace. This is how I can delete a particular workspace forcefully, because currently it is not empty workspace. It is having some data. That's why I was forced to delete it forcefully, this particular production workspace. This is how we can delete workspace as well. So we have learned all the basic commands, how to apply in each workspace, how to see the state files. So we have learned everything in this particular demo. Let me go back here. Let me go back to here. Let me summarize. So just now we have implemented our demo now. Let's see what happened, and let me summarize it. So I have used the same Terraform code, one single Terraform code I have used. After that, what I have done, I have created here 3 separate resources. It is not 2, it is 3. because I have created 3 workspaces, right? So I have created 3 separate resources in each workspace: dev, production, and test. So we have one individual VM in each workspace. Okay, and each workspace has its separate state file. This is also we have seen practically. So this is a demo about workspace and why we need to use workspace and how to store our state files independently in each workspace. So if you like my channel, please do subscribe my channel and like my channel and share my channel. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more further Terraform updates. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.